Welcome to Military News Channel. The Ukrainian military said on December 10 that it is engaged in intense fighting in the Donbass in eastern Ukraine as Russian forces continue to attack cities. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said Russian forces have turned Bakhmut into ruins in their continued attempt to encircle the strategic city in eastern Ukraine's Donetsk region, while the Ukrainian military has said it has thwarted the latest attacks in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. In his nightly video address to the nation on December 10, Zelensky said the situation remains very difficult in several frontline cities in the two partially occupied regions that together make up the Donbass region: Bakhmut, Soledar, Mariinka, Kreminna. For a long time, there is no living place left on the land of these areas that has not been damaged by shells and fire, Zelensky said, naming cities that have been targeted by a recent Russian offensive. The occupiers actually destroyed Bakhmut, another Donbass city that the Russian army turned into burnt ruins. Earlier the same day, the armed forces of Ukraine said it had successfully repelled attacks in Bakhmut, as well as in other cities in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. Russia identified capturing the entire Donbass region, parts of which had been controlled by Russian-backed separatists since 2014, as a focus of its war campaign in Ukraine from the onset of its all-out invasion in February. Following military and territorial setbacks in Ukraine's south and east due to a recent Ukrainian counter-offensive, Russia has placed renewed focus on taking Bakhmut, a key Ukrainian supply hub, by massing troops and military equipment in an attempt to surround the city. On December 10, the Russian Defense Ministry said Russian troops were also focusing their Donbass offensive in the direction of the Donetsk region city of Lyman, which is 65 kilometers north of Bakhmut, saying they had managed to take more advantageous positions for further advancement. In fighting elsewhere in Ukraine, Russian state media reported the occupied southeastern city of Melitopol, in the Zaporizhia region, came under missile attack by Ukrainian forces on the evening of December 10. The Russian-installed authorities said 2 people were killed and 10 injured in a missile attack. Air defense systems destroyed 2 missiles, while 4 reached their targets. Yevgeny Belitsky, the Moscow-appointed governor of the occupied part of the Zaporizhia region, wrote on Telegram. In his nightly video address, Ukrainian President Zelensky said the situation in Odessa, in southern Ukraine, was very difficult after energy infrastructure in the Black Sea port city was struck by Russian forces using Iranian-made drones. Unfortunately, the hits were critical, so it takes more than just time to restore electricity, Zelensky said. It doesn't take hours, but a few days, unfortunately. The strikes by Iranian-made Shahed 136 kamikaze drones on 2 energy facilities left 1.5 million people in the city without power, according to Ukrainian officials. Moscow has been targeting Ukraine's energy infrastructure since October with waves of missile and drone strikes, leading to claims by Kievan rights groups that Russia is committing war crimes by trying to deprive Ukrainians of heat, electricity, and water as winter sets in. Iran has come under criticism for supplying Russia with suicide and combat drones to boost the Kremlin's war in Ukraine. Meanwhile, in the south, Russian drone strikes cut power in the Black Sea port city of Odessa a day after the West approved a new shipment of aid to Ukraine to bolster its air defenses. Russia has been besieging Bakhmut for months at extraordinary costs to its own armed forces. The city is home to key rail and road routes, and its capture would rupture Ukraine's supply lines, potentially opening a route for Russian forces to press on toward Kramatorsk and Sloviansk, key Ukrainian strongholds in Donetsk. Its sacking would also represent a psychological victory for Russia following months of setbacks at the hands of Ukrainian forces. However, some